Assalamualaikum and good day to Puan Anis. My name is Ada bin Azmi and my matrix number is F1045 and this is our presentation on PBT2. So first up, we are tasked to create a file management system for operations for file handling and also directory handling. So the agenda is we'll be covering the main page, the two file handling, for the functions and also deployment and also to run our actual project. So first up, we have the main page here, where basically it allows users to choose between two pages, whether to perform file operation or directory operations. As you can see here, this is the UI. So next up, we have the file handling here. So as you can see on the left side, we have a bunch of ESET functions here to basically check whether the forms that is submitted by the user actually matches the functions in the function PHP. The function PHP basically acts as the backend. So most of this is just a compilation of forms here, where mostly it is just to allow user to choose the type of files they have. So you can see a bunch of for loops here, and also we have a text area here where user can write something into the file, and also a simple text input to write some files. So this is the UI right here for the file handling. And same goes for directory handling, nothing much, just a ESET function to check whether the submit actually matches the functions. And apart from that, it is basically the same as file handling. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Adam Zikri, and now I will continue with the function.php part. This part of the code is responsible for setting up the main working directory and handling basic file operation in the system. The variable base directory defines the main folder where all the file will be stored. It uses the dir constant to get the directory of the current PHP file and adds files so that all files are organized inside a specific folder named file. Next, the if statement check if the folder already exists. If it doesn't, it creates one using the mkdir function with a permission settings of 0755. This gives the owner full access while allowing others to read and execute files inside the directory. Another if statement then check whether the path is actually a directory or not. If not, the script will create it with 0777 permission, meaning full access for all users. This check ensures the system always has a valid and accessible base folder to work with. After that, the getFile list function is used to scan the directory and display its content. It uses scan_dir to get all files and subfolder, filter out the special entries, and apply HTML special characters to prevent any unwanted HTML from appearing. This function then returns a clean and safe list of all items in the directory. Next, we have the create file function, which allows users to make new file. It's also trim extra spaces, check if the name is empty or already exists, and if everything is valid, creates a new file using fopen. After successfully creating it, the function closes the file and shows a success message. Lastly, we have the open files, which checks whether a selected file exists in the directory or not. If it does, it confirms that the file was opened successfully. Otherwise, it notifies that the user that the file doesn't exist. That's all from me. I will pass on to my friend to continue the presentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am 01DDT23F1143 and I will be continuing for our source code. So starting with the read file function, when I select a file and click read, it will call the read file content. This function opens the file in read mode using fopen, reads all its content and shows it on the page. So basically it just lets us view what's inside the file. Moving on to the write file, rename file, and delete file. So next is the write file function. We can choose a file and type something into the text box. When I submit, the write file function opens the file in write mode and uses fwrite to save the new content. If the file doesn't exist, it will automatically create it. So this is how we update or add the text. Next, we have the rename file. This one is very simple. It uses the PHP's rename function. So just pick an old file name, type in a new one, and it will instantly change the file name in the folder. And lastly, the delete file. When I select a file and hit delete, it calls the delete file, and which will use the PHP unlink function to permanently remove it from the directory. That's all from me. Moving on to my next friend.
Setelah untuk directory handling, so pertama PHP include function.php. So function yang ada kat function.php akan masuk kat base ni. Kemudian untuk function insert post, so untuk semak apabila user tekan mana-mana button, iaitu create, read, atau delete, kemudian create directory. User perlu masukkan pelbagai powerful test, kemudian tekan button create directory untuk menambahkan directory baru. Kemudian untuk directory pula akan ada drop down menu, dan kemudian user perlu memilih directory mana yang untuk read. Kemudian untuk delete directory pula akan ada drop down menu, dan sama juga user perlu memilih directory mana untuk di delete. Kemudian ini ialah output untuk directory handle paste.
Whole system. So first up, file operations, so simple one, create a file. So here it shows the message, and here user can actually choose the type of file to open. So it works. Same goes for read. I guess I should write something first. So it writes successfully, and for read, it shows here what we actually wrote into the file. And for rename, we also allow to rename into maybe here. And once we can choose the file, as you can see, it actually renames the whole file to downloading. As prior before, it was downloads. So now directory, same goes as well. Let's create downloads maybe. And here it shows what user can choose, can read. And also user can actually delete the actual directory. And as you can see here, deleted was successful, and you can't even choose it anymore. So that is all from us. Thank you very much.